you can taste the wildness of South Africa in biltong. You will taste the wildness.
It was such a culture shock for the school at the time, but it was also, I think, such a needed shock. I don't have to be the winning person, right, in South Africa, but I want to inspire other people to win because that makes me better by being from South Africa. And that's such a South African concept that you find in very few places around the world.
This is how I like it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to VATP. Today is episode 2 and today we'll be talking about South Africa, and again I am joined by Inga, the VATP food and culture expert.
Hello, I'm Inga Smith. I am featured in last episode. I am the food and culture expert. Today is very special for me. We are speaking about South Africa, which is my home nation and I'm proud to present about. Let's go.
Well, since this is your home nation, I will let you lead some of the conversation. So what do you think we should start off with?
So there's a lot to talk about South Africa, and be mindful that we will have to simplify a lot of the stuff for this video, because let's just say if we wanted to talk about all of it, this video probably exceeds 6 hours and might as well be a live stream rather than a podcast. One of the most prominent things I would say is the culture. South African culture is very, very diverse. It's interesting, and there's a reason we call it the Rainbow Nation.
Why is that?
Firstly, is because given the complicated history, a lot of different groups of people have converged in South Africa throughout the time, and we have like a few main ones, which you have the Afrikaans, which is the Dutch and English descendants. We have the indigenous, the Zulu, Xhosa, etc. And then we also have the Indian cultures, which came from Asia. And all of these combine to form a very, very unique form of society that really conjures some of the best and most humorous things I have witnessed in my life.
So, speaking of the Indian people, which I feel very close connection to, what kind of food have the Indians brought to South Africa?
Oh yes, South African food. There's so much. So one of the most prominent things that I have to mention firstly is the Indians are based in Durban, which is also my hometown. It's located on the eastern coast of South Africa, and one of the best Indian cuisines that is derived in Durban is the bunny chow. So the bunny chow is kind of like when you decided that, you know what, I want to try something new. You know, whenever I have my food, I use rice, but no, I don't feel like rice today. I want something different. Give me something new. So they take like this loaf of bread, they cut it in half, they hollow it out, and they would put curry inside, and you would get like this amazing bunny chow. It's just like, it's delicious. And a personal favorite of mine would be butter chicken bunny chow. So this is interesting.
Wait, so do you have different options for the kind of curry they put in there?
Of course you do. You never just thought curry would just be mutton, did you?
No, I love my curry.
Exactly. So there are a few types, and the two main prominent ones are your mutton curry and your butter chicken. I personally prefer the butter chicken because it combines a sweet fragrance with herbs and even some coconut. Kind of tastes like Thai curry, but if it was like elevated to a whole new plane of existence, essentially. It's exquisite.
Not even 5 minutes into the episode, you got me salivating.
Just thinking about my my home country and all of the cuisine, like I can rant about this for so long because South African food is incredibly diverse just because of all of these different cultures, and there's a lot. And another one that originated from Asia would be the bobotie. So this is kind of like a shepherd's pie, but instead of onion, you use like pastry instead. And instead of just ground beef, you also combine it with like a lot of South African spices, and it creates like this interesting, like kinda tastes like a dessert, but at the same time, it's not a dessert. So it's like sweet and savory at the same time, and it's truly interesting. 10 out of 10 recommended, by the way.
That sounds amazing. Any other foods you want to mention?
Oh god, there are so many. Which one would you want first, though? Like which area? Just give me a random area.
What about the Cape?
Oh, the Cape. Okay, so the Cape was, if I believe correctly, the Dutch landed there, and the Dutch actually later on formed a group of people called the Trekboer, which just means nomadic farmers from Dutch. And one of the multiple foods that came from them is biltong, So biltong is like it's like beef jerky, but instead of having it cooked, it's raw, and you can either like dry it or low smoke it, which is smoking at a low temperature for a long time. And before that, you have to marinate it in a sauce if you need to, or you can like just put a bunch of spices on it, and you'll have like this. You can taste the wildness of South Africa in biltong. You will taste the wildness.
How would you compare this biltong to like a beef jerky from the Americas?
I would say biltong is probably more healthy in my opinion, but then again, both of these are relatively salty. But it's also because biltong is significantly less processed than beef jerky would, in my opinion. I'm not too sure about beef jerky production, but in my personal opinion, I would prefer biltong as it actually allows you to taste the nature.
So I mean, I've tasted beef jerky before, and it's a little bit sweet. Is biltong sweet or just salty?
Biltong is not sweet. It's just salty, and you can taste the spices. And there's another food item that if you're mentioning in South Africa, you cannot miss. It's the boerewors. So it translates into farmer's sausage. You can take the boerewors, you can fry it in the pan, and after you fry it to like until it's like cooked, you don't want to like just throw the oil away. That is crucial. You put your boerewors on the side on a plate, and you take chakalaka and you just chuck it into the pan. And what this will do is you'll heat up that sauce. At the same time, you're going to absorb all of that fragrance and flavor in that oil and fat. And that's just delightful. So then you can take like a baguette, a pristine baguette, or even a standard sausage roll if you wanna. And then you can just tuck your boerewors in there and then either put some chakalaka on it, but I personally prefer to drench it in chakalaka, so it just tastes amazing. Highly recommended.
What is chakalaka?
I'm glad you asked. So chakalaka is one of the staples of hybridized food from South Africa. It was originally part like a vegetable mix from the boer, and the modern chakalaka is also combined with the Indian curry. So you get like this very unique curry-ish like vegetable stew-like thing, but it's less watery and it's like a sauce. So it's like curry, but a lot of vegetables in it. And it's like you can taste it. It's amazing. Yeah, just drench it on your boerewors roll, or I would personally add it with every single meat item I get. Like, come on, it's irresistible.
Well, as much as I'd love to talk about food for this entire episode, my stomach's getting a bit active, and we have other topics to talk about. So
Yeah, exactly.
let's move on to some geography, shall we? Table Mountain in Western Cape. Have you ever visited?
Yes, I have. This brings me back to my childhood, yo. So this is also another mention to the Cape. It also has South Africa's winery, which is some of the best wine you'll ever find in the world, by the way. And this happens to be because of the Hoeveld, or the high fields. So this is where the farming happens in the more like slightly inland areas, where it's usually you'd expect it to be dry, and like Johannesburg, for instance, like cold, dry in the night and absolutely blazing dry in the day. You know, if you walk outside in the day, you might feel like you're gonna catch fire, etc. And that's where they grow like the grapes, and they turn that into wine.
More particularly, the coastal parts of South Africa have a Mediterranean climate similar to that of California or places like Italy or Greece. The other day, I heard a fact about the Kalahari Desert, that it's not actually considered a true desert because it receives too much rainfall, and it's actually considered a savanna, a semi-arid savanna.
Yes, that is true, because if it were a true desert, we wouldn't have all of these national parks for savanna and these animals and such biodiversity.
So there's a lot of geographical diversity in South Africa. There's grasslands, savanna, forests, maybe some desert towards the Namibian border, which is divided by the Orange River. Like, they actually traced out the outline of the river to create the border between Namibia and South Africa.
One more thing I want to mention is by Durban, and while you're going inland from Durban, you're gonna pass the Drakensberg, and the Drakensberg is one of the major factors that makes like the inner land like so dry from the eastern side, because as you'd expect, the Drakensberg is a very high like it's a very high line of mountains, not a single mountain. And of course, the view is also stunning, so that's also a tourist hotspot you can go to. However, now that we've mentioned tourist hotspots, there is a very specific place I want to highlight. So it's located at the more bottom end of South Africa, and this is Coffee Bay. It possesses some of the most stunning views I've ever seen. Pristine blue ocean. Amazing.
That's definitely a place that I want to visit. I mean, I love the beach, and I love me some clear blue water to just jump in.
Jumping in might not be the best
No?
idea considering where you are. Yeah, you'd likely freeze.
Oh,
But sometimes
that's a bummer.
Sometimes the most beautiful things best reserved just for the eyes.
That is true. Very
Like
deep.
say you see that adorable little leopard or cheetah over there. You want to pet it. Don't do it. They're wild. Don't try and tame it, please.
But I've heard they can be domesticated.
Oh, so yeah, cheetahs can be domesticated because they are basically large house cats and they have a very cute noise, which probably we'll have someone intruding in later that would probably tell you more about these fluffy little cute creatures.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadowing, an advanced technique of narrative according to Britannica. Okay, hypothetical situation now, hey? You decided, yeah, let's play some Earth's SMP. I'm gonna spawn in. And your random spawn says, yeah, boy, you're going to the savannah. Rate your survival rates.
Rate my survival rates in
Yes.
the savannah.
Yes.
Considering the large amount of wildcats and hyenas. What are hyenas cats? Or what are they?
Hyenas, I don't think they're cats, actually. Hyenas aren't cats.
I have no idea what they are, but I know they'll kill me in like 5 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm rating a 0%.
I would say I would have like slightly decent survival chances given that I know the animals quite well. So you want to avoid big cats. But remember, you are not actually on cheetah or lion menus. They see you as more of a twig of food rather than like they would rather go for the wildebeest because that's much more food than you'd have. But however, female lions are territorial and let's just say they will pounce and absolutely annihilate you if you go too close. The male lions are also very aggressive though. So yeah, my survival chances are probably not looking that good. Okay, so you mentioned about Table Mountain so much, but how did it actually come from?
Well, it actually started its formation about over 300 million years ago during the Paleozoic era. And at that time, the area that South Africa is in was part of the supercontinent called Gondwana. That's what the name was. There was like 2 supercontinents. There was like Pangaea, and then it split into 2. It was Gondwana and then the one with Asia in it, which I forgot the name of. Yeah, the foundation was comprised mainly of sandstone, which was formed from like gradual layering, like sediment from the shallow sea. And then over those millions of years, that pressure, like that immense pressure from the accumulation of all those layers, just solidified the formation into rock. And now it is a site for hiking and tourism.
True. It is one of the best sites for hiking and tourism. I personally hiked Table Mountain before, and it is exactly because of that formation. If you look closely when you're like hiking, you can actually see the layers, individual layers of like sandstone and formation. And that is very, very interesting. It tells you history and the story without actually saying anything. It's like environmental storytelling, which is something that modernly is underappreciated.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
is
Very well
beautiful.
said.
All right, so now that we've talked about the beauty of South Africa, I think it's necessary that we mention some of the unfortunate past that have occurred. So, as we all know, South Africa was a colony under British control, and in 1948 to 1994, this period we had something called the apartheid. So this is basically a period where they forced political power and political, social, and economical power to the white people and white people only, discriminating against other colored people. This is horrible, and fortunately, in 1994, it was abolished. So its abolishment, contrary to popular belief, isn't instant when Nelson Mandela came in and ran the country. It actually happened over from the early 1990s through multiple negotiations until the law slowly started to fall apart. In 1994, Nelson Mandela won the election and came into the power, becoming the first colored president of South Africa. And this is a proud part of South Africa because it signifies us that we finally stepped through and we can unite despite all of our differences. We can unite as one, which is also the goal of VATP. We want to unite people around the world so we can become more inclusive. If South Africa could do it, you can do it too. All right, so that would be all from me being invited and speaking with our host Zach over here. However, I will remain, and in the next section, we'll interview a proper South African. See you soon. Hello, welcome back to the second segment of the podcast. Today we feature our special guest, Mr. G.
What's up? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing excellent, thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Mr. Greenland. I'm from South Africa. Lived there for 24 years before moving to Taiwan. Grew up in South Africa, taught in South Africa, and now live in Taiwan and try to share a little bit about South African culture.
So I'm also like South African, as I've stated later, but I don't consider myself true South African anymore because I have lived in Taiwan for quite a while and I haven't had that much time in South Africa, so I'm pseudo South African, I guess. So, Mr. Greenland, is there anything you'd like to share with us, like about South Africa in general, like as the broad spectrum?
Well, I think it's always difficult when somebody asks you about, trying to share something in general about a country. I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about South Africans is that for South Africans, South Africa is a very friendly place. We get along with other South Africans very well, and it's something I miss dearly about being in Taiwan. Another thing is the food. I think South Africa is really good at using food from all around the world and kind of putting their own South African twist on it. So yeah, South African food, South African people, best things about South Africa. Weather, maybe not so much, but can't win them all.
Honestly, for me, the people is definitely also an aspect I absolutely miss. So it's like you can make friends with other South Africans like super easily, and you can get along very quickly. And the best part is they will nearly always respond to your request, like say, hey, you want to come out for a braai with me? And they're like, sure, when? And then it just happens.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, every Saturday was a braai. We'd have family friends over. It was just like a big event every single Saturday. We knew Saturday night we're gonna have a braai, with people that we enjoy hanging out with. And in summer we'd be jumping in the pool. In winter maybe stay inside, watch a little bit of rugby. Even growing into adulthood, that kind of tradition stuck with us. Every weekend was a braai. And it didn't matter who came. You just ask anybody. You kind of send the message out into the ether, and people would arrive. And sometimes there'd be somebody in your house that you've never met before because it's a friend of a friend. And by the end of the night, you're good friends with that person as well. So yeah, it's a unique part of South African culture.
Most definitely. Like honestly, having the ability to meet people, like just snap, now you have a new friend, is such a underrated thing. Like. People often you sometimes isolate yourself, or like you locate yourself in like one friend group, and I'd say having the ability to meet a friend through a friend, it's kind of important. Like you get to experience other perspectives. And on to the braai part. What do you do with the leftovers? Because for me, is the leftovers become the next three meals for the next week, basically.
Oh, 100%. Cold braai flakes is really, really good. I really enjoy cold leftovers. It's one of my little tropes. But being able to put that meat into the fridge, and the next morning, you got some nice cold meats. It's delicious. And yeah, definitely, like I would say, boerewors, cold boerewors, great. Cold steaks, mid. Cold braai pretty bad. So I'd always make sure you finish the braai first, steaks next, and then if horse is left over for the next couple of days, you're good with that. You don't need to worry about it.
Now that we are on the Boerewors, do you put it into? I'm so sorry, I butchered the pronunciation.
That's fine.
Would you like put it into say like a roll and like put chakalaka on it?
A
Because
Boerewors roll
Yeah.
every day of the week. Every day of the week. No, 100%. Especially, I will say this, especially going to watch school sports.
oh yes.
As somebody who grew up playing a lot of sports at school, and I coached sports at school, when I was teaching, obviously, I was school at sports as well. That was like the peak of a sports day on a Saturday, was having a nice Boerewors roll with some chakalaka on top. You just knew that, you're getting close to the end of the day. It's been a good day. You've watched a lot of sport. You played a lot of sport. You're having a good time. 100%.
So for me, it's like I will always have that on Saturday or Sunday, because for us we didn't have like those Saturday night drives because we didn't exactly live the most comfortable life when I was back then, since I'm located in Durban. But we do also love sports down there, because I think that's honestly universal in South Africa. Everyone loves sports there. And my personal favorites, it has to be rugby, because I myself played rugby. You would often get injured, but it's just so fun. It's always worth it, and a very nice way to bond with your team. Like at the end of the day, you're like brothers that came out of the same battlefield.
Yeah, I didn't play much rugby at school. I stopped in grade 5 because kids started getting bigger than me and I didn't want to get hurt. But I've always loved watching rugby, and I remember those days, as a school kid, we'd go play. I played hockey, we'd play hockey in the morning, and then come here about 1 p.m. is the first team rugby game, and every single kid from school is there to watch the first team rugby game. And like we said, you got a Boerewors roll, and you got your nice ice cold Coke after you've played a nice game of hockey, and you're now about to watch the big boys. You're about to watch the first team rugby boys, and I think for a lot of us, they were kind of like gods growing up. We looked up to these kids and we're like, how are they so big? And that's just such a unique part of South African culture. Even in Taiwan, we don't really see much of that school spirit around sport like what we do in South Africa. And I know you came from DHS, so that's one of the big rugby schools in South Africa. So I think it's a part of South Africa that is missing in Taiwan that I really kind of wish was there. But it's also such a unique part of our culture growing up that I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, same here. Like, I would give anything just to experience that school spirit again. So for me, like, because I've been in DHS for my grade 8 before I transferred back to Taiwan, the thing with DHS is, like, when I was in grade 8, I played rugby for a bit, but until eventually I stopped because for the same reason, people were growing, like, absolutely massive, and I was afraid of being just ran over by bulldozers, so yeah. But we also have to watch like the first team, and because we are the school one, we also have the job of cheering, and this is often very fun. Despite it being like compulsory, it's still very fun because even though sometimes you may not feel the best that you have to go there on the weekend, but come on, the school spirit is so classic and you will feel so hyped. The energy is there, everyone is cheering, and whenever that one person scores that try, it's perfect. It's so fun. Everyone cheers. Like, it is insane. The school spirit, truly very strong.
I look back to my head boy in my grade 8 year, Wonketini. He was quite special at Queen's College. I remember when he was the first black head boy that Queen's College ever had, which was crazy. I think about it now, 2008. That was, 16 years. 14 years after the end of apartheid,
Yeah.
And it took Queen's College 14 years to get a black head boy, which was something that's insane. But he was also the first head boy that wasn't on the school's rugby team. And it was such a culture shock for the school at the time. But it was also, I think, such a needed shock for the school at the time because he was there and he inspired people to play better rugby. He was friends with the first team rugby players, but he also inspired people to do other things other than play rugby. He inspired people to try to do better at academics because he was an academic himself. He inspired people to try to be part of the drama club or whatever else. So you can inspire people, and I think it's important to inspire people that are not just, yourself, but or like yourself. Those kids in South Africa, they kind of lead to inspire people that are outside of their own circles, which is, I think, something that South Africans are also very good at. Is we don't just focus on ourselves, we focus on those around us, and trying to build them up as well.
Yeah, and this just emphasizes the value of Ubuntu, which also means I am because we are. And my head boy Riley was also an academic himself. He didn't study that. He didn't study that much because he emphasized even more on just the friendship and the bond of the school.
Yeah, and you speak about Ubuntu, right? I am because we are, and you think back to those head boys, and they were inspiring others, but by inspiring others, they made themselves greater, right? They could say that they came from this great school because they inspired other people to do great things. Often it's not the head boy that did the great thing, It wasn't the head boy that scored the winning try at the game, but it was they inspired people, and that made the place that they came from better, right? And I think that's such a South African concept of, I don't have to be the winning person, right, in South Africa, but I want to inspire other people to win because that makes me better by being from South Africa, right? And that's such a South African concept that you find in very few places around the world. You look at famous South Africans around the world, right? You look at some of the people that come off the top of my head. You look at like the Chad Leclos, the Gerda Steins, the Siya Kolisis. None of them are trying to be proud of themselves, right? Yeah, they've achieved greatness, Chad Leclos winning gold against Michael Phelps, right? Gerda Stein, what now, 7 Two Oceans Ultras that she's won. Siya Kolisi, right, captaining 2 World Cup teams. And they've achieved greatness, but they've never made it about themselves, right? They've always wanted to achieve greatness because they are proud of where they come from, right? And as South Africans, there are a few people who are like, oh, I don't want to be from South Africa, right? But for the majority of us, I think we're so proud of where we come from, even though we're around the world, even though we're doing other things, right? We're so proud of where we come from. We're so in tune with South Africa because we are proud of where we come from and because we are proud of the people of South Africa, and we want to still be part of that.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Up to this day, I'm so proud of myself and the people around me, my peers in South Africa. One of my peers right now is achieving greatness, doing research in Cape Town at this point, and another one, which is a friend of my brother, which I got to know, is now also in Harvard, which I feel so proud for him, even though I'm much younger than he is. So moving on from this part, I think there's another thing we can be proud of is our biltong.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look, I saw the numbers the other day. There's about 1,000 South Africans who live in Taiwan, right? But there are 2 full-time biltong suppliers in Taiwan. That is how much biltong we consume on this island. The 1,000 of us that are here, we consume enough to fully employ 2 people to make biltong in Taiwan. Absolutely. I don't think I've ever given biltong to somebody who hasn't enjoyed it, right? With the only caveat, don't tell them what it is, because the moment you tell them that it's raw meat, that attitude changes. But it's one of the most wonderful things, and you can eat it absolutely anytime, absolutely anywhere. It is amazing.
Yeah, biltong. The whole thing with biltong is it's so good. It tastes excellent, and they come in so many different varieties and flavors as well. At first, I remember still when I was still young, very young, in the single digits of age. I was given this mysterious thing to try out, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I ate it because I didn't want to make a fuss out of it. And then, oh boy, that started something that could never be stopped. Now I want to find biltong. I cannot get my hands on the biltong in Taiwan. I really, really want to have it, but I still absolutely prefer the true stuff that is in South Africa.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we were lucky enough. My grandfather had a beef farm, right? So we grew up eating beef biltong all the time. But you can get beef biltong, you can get game biltong, you can get springbok biltong, you can get blesbok biltong, you can get kudu biltong. There's chicken biltong, right? There's pork biltong now. I was lucky. We went to the Kruger National Park. I've eaten elephant biltong. I've eaten crocodile biltong. Right?
Same.
You can get ostrich biltong. There's absolutely every flavor. And then you got it normal. You got it spicy, right? You got a wet, you got a dry, you got not boerewors, you got droewors, you got the chili bites, you got the biltong wheels. There's so many different varieties of the same damn thing, and it's great. It's amazing. It's so delicious.
Let's not forget about the babalas.
We are not talking about that in a school.
Yes. So there's another part because I'm from Durban and I'm just genuinely curious. Do you also have like the bunny chows and curries as common around the rest of South Africa?
Yeah, so the final school that I went to was actually just north of Durban in Richards Bay. So kind of from a similar area. But I mean, you go to Cape Town now, it's easy to get a bunny chow. Bloemfontein, probably a little bit more difficult. Joburg has got bunny chow. My brother who lives in PE has eaten bunny chow and PE, so it's definitely spread. It's similar to the Cape Town Gatsby that's kind of spread around as well.
Because the whole thing with Durban is in Durban there's like this access to a wide variety of foods, especially from the Asian side of the world as well. And some of them are like absolutely delicious. Naming a few off of my head, I would say butter chicken curry and definitely samosas.
Yeah, so Durban's got the largest Indian population or largest population of Indian people living outside of India, right? And so therefore, obviously, there's a very big influence on the cuisine in Durban and in the entire KwaZulu-Natal. There's a very big influence of Indian cuisine there. For those of you who don't know, a bani chow is basically an Indian curry that is put into a hollowed out loaf of bread. It is great. It is amazing. It was sent from God himself. It's just amazing, right? You got a whole loaf of bread. The loaf that the piece that they took out in the middle is just next to you, so you can use that. You dunk it. You eat with your hands. It's great. Spicy as hell though. But yeah, and then like you said, you get butter chicken. Honestly, any Indian curry you'll find in KwaZulu-Natal. Samosas as well, right? The dough balls with the filling inside. One thing that's great about South Africa is that a lot of people will eat meat, so you get meat-filled samosas in South Africa, which are peak. Indian food is great food. I've made bunny chow once or twice in Taiwan. It's a little bit difficult to get the ingredients, but you can, and yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, getting the ingredients is definitely the biggest hassle, because I also tried to make boerewors in Taiwan, and that was pretty difficult because the spices were like, some of them they don't even have, and I had to thankfully I brought some back from South Africa, which saves me a lot of trouble.
Yeah, whenever we've got family or friends coming over from South Africa, it's an entire suitcase now that gets filled up with South African ingredients or South African snacks. And spices, Robertson's spices, nothing beats Robertson's. So it's like there's these comforts from home that we always make sure we get. There's some things that we started finding in Taiwan. Like one of the things now is that they sell rooibos tea in Taiwan, so I don't need to bring rooibos tea anymore, stuff like that. But Robertson spices I'll always get. Unfortunately we can't bring in any boerewors or any meat products, so we can't do that. But also some snacks, Simba chips, Romani creams, stuff like that. Oh, every time. And a good packet of salt and vinegar Simba chips. If any South Africans are listening out there, please bring me some salt and vinegar Simba chips, because they don't sell them here.
I need those, please. And now that we're on the topic of home comfort, is it only me, or has every single Springboks rugby game I've witnessed, for the World Cup and the ultimate championship, why is it only me, or does it always tend to happen on a Saturday?
Yeah, so sports games in South Africa, especially rugby, right? Rugby is such an intense game on your body that you can't play it multiple times a week, right? So the Springboks, if they're playing, when they've got tours, they're playing at maximum once a week, and they'll often have a day off. They tend to play on Saturdays because that's the best time for the South African market to watch, right? And South African market is one of the biggest rugby markets in the world. So they kind of all line them up for Saturdays in South Africa, which means it's generally Saturday night for us or early Sunday morning.
So unfortunately, we do not have much time, but I want to ask you one single question. Let's say, hypothetically, you were dropped into the savannah. What are your survival rates?
Oh, my survival rates in the savannah. Listen, I did Cub Scouts when I was a kid, right? I didn't even do proper scouts. So I'd say making a fire, Savannah's dry, making a fire probably okay. I think I'll definitely survive a day. One night probably because I could stay awake. But the problem is the moment I fall asleep, lions, all of those things are coming for me. I can make a fire, but that's about it. I don't even think I'll be able to make a shelter. So I'll give myself about 2 days of survival until I get mauled by an animal. But I would be proud to say I probably won't die of thirst and I probably won't die of hunger. I'll just die of being mauled.
I would probably like perish in like even my first day because I'm just that unfit. I am so physically unfit, but again I wouldn't starve nor die of thirst because I would be mauled as well, since running away from one of those big cats is basically impossible for our human body.
Yeah, that's a part of South Africa I never want to try out. I think I'll leave that part in South Africa. I'm good.
Yeah, it was a one little thing that this one was from my childhood is when I was visiting Kruger. When I was walking through like those cages to see like lions, one of the lions were looking at me like I was a snack. It was scary, but it's like just it's looking at me like I'm a snack, and I'm like, please don't eat me.
I've seen a couple of lions in my life. Luckily, every time I've gone to go see a lion up close, it's always a lion that's been fed in the past few days. So they're generally not hungry. But yeah, I can imagine, a lion looking at you like a snack. Probably not something you want.
However, one bit of like survival training or like help that I've had would be Spirit of Adventure, which is something that you would do in school. I did that when I was in grade 8 at DHS. Basically, we go out with our friends. Like as a school coordinated event, we go to like these places and experience all sorts of fun activities, and most importantly, you cook your own potjiekos, and you don't have help anywhere. It's your job to survive, and since it's Durban and it was winter by that time, it was so cold.
Yeah, look, I think maybe potjiekos is probably not the best survival food, right? Number one, you need a really heavy potjie pot to cook it in. So yeah, I think I'll just go with maybe a cut of meat on a fire to survive. But if you ever find a potjie pot out in the middle of Savannah, at least you'll be able to make a good potjie pot,
Assuming you can get your hands on the meat first, that's the problem. One part of of South Africa is the animals are absolutely majestic. Unfortunately, poaching still remains a problem, and some of them are like endangered at this point, which is very sad.
Yeah, the white rhino population is struggling in South Africa. Close to Richards Bay's Umfolozi Game Reserve, which has one of the last few white rhinos. It has to be guarded 24/7 by 8 guards now, for poaching. It's sad. It's a sad state, but then you look at the population of elephants that has bounced back, from conservation efforts. So hopefully, like, if they keep up the conservation efforts, maybe the white rhino population can bounce back. We've seen it with elephants. Let's see if we can see it with rhinos.
I would hope that we could see it with the rhinos. Like, the rhinos are such majestic creatures as well. We really cannot afford to lose them, and they are one of like the biggest animals in South Africa, part of the Big Five, I think.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're part of the Big Five. No, 100%. It will be a loss. It will be a loss. I think not just to South Africa, but to the whole world if we lose the white rhino population.
So before we end, is there anything else you would like to share with the viewers?
I think just visit South Africa. Taiwan is a country that doesn't really have a great relationship with South Africa, and I think it's a little bit sad. But take your time. Go to South Africa, go to Cape Town, go to Joburg. Maybe don't go to Joburg; it's a little bit unsafe. But go to Cape Town. Cape Town safe, Durban safe. Go visit. You'll have a great time. Also, just to let people know that there is a restaurant in Cape Town called Taoyuan Food Plaza.
Oh.
So where you can find Taiwanese food if you're missing that taste from home. In Cape Town, in Sipon, there's Taoyuan Food Plaza, so you can even get a taste from home in South Africa.
Yeah, definitely also come and visit Durban. We have some of the best Indian food that has a South African twist to it. You have to come. If you come to South Africa, Durban, one of the go-tos. There's also somewhere called Piggly Wiggly near Durban, which is, well, not part of Durban City at least, but it's in KZN. But that place will give you probably the best burger you ever have in your life, and I can say that with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many special food spots. I think every single South African will tell you about a secret food spot. So just go. Ask a tour guide to take you around, and you'll have a great time.
All right, and thank you for coming, Mr. Greenland. It has truly been insightful, and I believe we have offered the viewers truly some very deep insight towards South Africa.
Thank you for having me. It's always great to talk about the homeland. I think if any of you out there enjoy this, go visit South Africa, have a good time. Maybe we'll see you there.
Hello, I am Sir Cranksalot, and today I'll be shoving the cheetah's knowledge into your head. Before anything though, I am now level 200, because I watched VATP. You should watch the first video now, or after this one. Now, the cheetah is not like the lion. They do not belong in the family Panthera. In fact, they belong in the family Felidae, which is why we feature them in this video. They are a cat. And that's pretty cool. Now, cheetahs are incredible creatures and as well being very, very adorable. Firstly, here's a sample of what the noise they make. They do not roar. They chirp like birds and they meow like house cats. They're just absolutely adorable. Now, they are also very, very fast. They can run up to 120 kilometers per hour, and that is 10 kilometers faster than the Taiwan speed limit. So if a cheetah is running on the road at full speed, they'll be pulled over and fined for speeding. They also have amazing acceleration, capable of reaching 100 kilometers per hour in 3 seconds. That is very quick, even faster than your car can accelerate, depending on car you have. Now, this is owned to their skeletal structure. Their spines are incredibly flexible, and that allows them to have explosive power so great. And they also have very large hearts and very large lungs. This allows them better stamina so they can keep running for longer periods of time. Since if you start running, you will feel breathless. They need to breathe too. So they need bigger lungs for more gaseous exchange, for more energy. Now, there's a few problems with the cheetah, however. Currently, they are listed vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, which is why I call for your help. We must protect the cheetahs at once. Cheetahs are predators. They are incredibly important for the South African ecosystem. They regulate the bulk population and prevent overgrazing. As established in the last video, overgrazing can result in ecosystem damage and is substantial towards the country itself even. Now, lastly, I want to tell you, South Africa is a great country. You should go to the savannah if you want to experience the wild. Definitely worth it. Cheetahs are adorable. Lions are majestic. Stay safe and help us protect the cheetahs. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another GeoGuessing segment. Today we are obviously doing South Africa, and this time I know for a fact it's definitely gonna be a lot easier than Mongolia. That was an absolute nightmare last time, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I strongly agree. Like, that was hellish. It was a nightmare. And hopefully I can make my pseudo-South African genetics useful in
Exactly,
a way.
we have a South Africa geoguessing expert with us.
Don't do that. Don't
He'll be
lie.
getting all the 5Ks.
No. That's the advanced art of sarcasm,
And because it's gonna be a bit easier today, we're deciding to go with the no moving format, which means that we will be in a
Static.
single spot, but we can look around.
Yes, we are unfortunately not good enough for NPMZ.
Yeah.
NMPZ, sorry.
Well, let's get into it.
Alright. You didn't invite me.
Oh my. Okay, let's get into it.
Why did you forget me earlier?
No, that didn't happen.
Don't lie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie. You forgot me.
Okay,
Why?
fine,
It
fine,
hurts.
Fine.
It hurts.
I'm
you,
a human. I make mistakes.
You hurt my feelings. I'm also human. I have
okay.
feelings.
I realize that.
Okay. What is this?
Have you seen this before? Do you know where this is? This looks pretty recognizable.
Yeah, I'm feeling like, you know, Johannesburg, but I cannot say for sure. Also, low cam.
Oh, it's called the small cam.
Okay.
Low cam is something completely different.
Okay, cool. Oh, look, it's people. Now, people.
Yep, people.
People. We are all people.
Oh, we got a cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry to you all out there. I'm horrible at doing that. You know, but I tried.
Oh, it was Kimberly.
Kimberly.
You ever been to Kimberly?
Actually, no. I only know that Kimberly has a massive hole.
Oh, a what?
A massive hole. That's where they excavated diamonds.
Ah, okay. That
And now it's filled with water. Oh, look.
AC.
It's
That's a ADT.
ADT security. I am way too familiar with this, but I'm thinking this is probably...
These mountains look like
This is-
Western Cape.
This is
to me.
Western Cape Mountains,
You
correct.
think it could be Stellenbosch?
Stellenbosch. Yeah, might be.
You know, I'll give that a try.
Stellenbosch.
Kind of bend would make sense here.
I'm just gonna go for a more generalized guess. Oh, wow.
It was all the way on.
But no ocean.
Well, you probably can't see it, but it was right there. Wow. Okay. I mean, not too bad of a guess.
Yeah, not
Definitely
too bad, not too bad.
a lot easier than Mongolia.
Yeah, definitely. See, already 4,000 points.
Yeah.
How many rounds did it take for us to get
I
there?
don't even remember our score last time.
All I know is it was depressing.
Yep.
One other thing I want to point out is that little orange sign you see on the electric fences. There. Those little orange signs that you see
That?
on the electric
Yeah.
fences. Like this sign that's hovering on the fence. Those are very common in South Africa. Actually, I think I'm going to go with near Joburg, maybe.
You know, I'm gonna go welcome.
It was Pretoria.
Damn it.
Yep. My
right.
pseudo South African genetics are resonating.
See, expert. He always denies it. He's the expert.
I am not the expert. He's the expert.
No.
He has so many more hours.
But
in
this is
than I
your
do.
country.
Come on, but you studied GeoGuessr, okay?
I don't study.
Don't lie.
I actually don't.
Don't lie.
I don't.
Don't lie. What cam is this?
Just regular Gen 4 one.
Look, there's another person.
Where? Oh,
Person. See, people. Yay.
yes, people.
That means we are in one of those places where civilization exists.
Wow, very helpful.
I know, right?
I don't know.
Let's see. All right.
I'll go Pretoria.
Just get absolutely smoked.
Damn it.
Absolutely smoked.
Damn it.
All right, do you want to explain why we're doing 6 rounds quickly?
Oh, that is for the 6 colors on the South African flag.
That is true. It's already giving me Easternish vibes, but then again,
Yeah?
cannot be too sure, actually.
You know, I'm gonna go Pietermaritzburg.
Shouldn't be Pietermaritzburg. Pietermaritzburg was more cold than this.
It was Durban.
Yo.
That's
My
your
hometown.
town.
It's my hometown. I should have known. Like, see, this is the thing that happens with GeoGuessr is you feel it in your gut, but you just don't follow through.
Pretty close to the airport.
Oh, I think that's King Shaka Airport, formerly known as Queen Elizabeth Airport. I don't remember. My memory fails me often. Well,
Okay.
hello, South Africa.
Well, I've never seen these red and white curbs. in
Me
South Africa
neither,
before.
actually. I'm gonna say...
Hold on, those are some pretty big mountains over there.
Oh, yes, definitely.
To the east.
To the east. I mean, we might...
Oh,
I think we're
God.
on eastern coast again. Just plonk it
I don't know,
somewhere.
I'm gonna go with these mountains down here.
I'm gonna go with these. Let's see it. Oh, Eastern Cape.
Towards Cape Town.
Yeesh. That wasn't particularly good, but it still went better
Yeah.
than Mongolia.
Okay, why am I floating? What is this? Wait, I can rotate you.
Why can't you don't you rotate me now? I'm gonna rotate you back now. See, I'm rotating you now.
Oh wait, I can rotate myself too.
Why are you rotating us?
I don't know. I never knew you could do that. Interesting.
The more you know. Cue the jingle.
All right, well, that will conclude the geoguessing for today.
And that would also mean this is the end of our episode. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a comment. We are VATP, and we hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.